following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the TFN Geek coming to you with what will hopefully be a successful video review, and as the title of the video reveals, tonight we are going to be taking a look at the fourth and final figure to be released in the Amazon exclusive Transformers Golden Disc Collection. It is none other than the Predacon Pterosaur. So yes, out of all four of the Transformers Golden Disc Collection action sets, Terrorsaur is the one that everyone has been the most excited for. Terrorsaur is the one I admit to being the most excited for. He's the most sought after of them all. He's the most recent to also be released. I actually got Terrorsaur at the same time most collectors got their copies, which was a few weeks ago when the month of February first began. So it's been a while since I was able to actually have the time to make a video review of it. But yes, here is Pterosaur's box. You've got the War for Cybertron Kingdom logo right there. There's Pterosaur's name up there. You got, again, the War for Cybertron Trilogy logo there. Golden Disc Collection Terrorsaur. This side of the box, you got a continuation of the artwork on the front. And here on the back of the box, you've got the product photos. And there is Terrorsaur in his robot mode and in his beast mode of a pterodactyl. He transforms back and forth in 22 steps. And yes, for those of you who have been keeping up with the Transformers Kingdom line, Terrorsaur has parts recycled from the Transformers Kingdom Deluxe Class Airazor figure, so Terrorsaur is not an entirely new mold, and that's why in pterodactyl mode and kind of in robot mode, you can see some of the similarities between him and Airazor. But yeah, I am really amazed with how well Terrorsaur turned out at least on the product photos. It's very close to his animation model from the Beast Wars cartoon series. Now, also, as you can tell by the title of the video, there's a wing fix that you have to do for Terrorsaur, and unfortunately, it's actually you can actually see it on it here on the product photo of his beast mode. But if you look right in there, sorry for it being so fuzzy, right there in the bottom center of, where's my finger? Right here at the bottom center of the wings, there's tiny little square-shaped pegs, and on Terrorsaur, they've been placed backwards, and I will show that off more closely when we do some size comparisons of him, and when we get him out of the box. But yes, I am thrilled to finally have Terrorsaur in my Transformers collection. Even though Terrorsaur has unfortunately been released in the United States as an Amazon exclusive figure, he was the third to last of the Season 1 Predacons from the Beast Wars cartoon series to be given a modern-day figure in the Kingdom line. The Kingdom line is ending with Wave 5 with the release of Core Class Hot Rod, Deluxe Class Pipes and Slammer, and also the Voyager Class Blaster figure. So the Kingdom line, along with the War for Cybertron Trilogy line, they're ending before Hasbro and Takara were able to release modern-day figures of the last two Predacons from Season 1 of Beast Wars could join the other Predacons, which are Tarantulas and Beast Wars Inferno. But it is rumored that we're going to get a Deluxe Class figure of Tarantulas in the Legacy line and a Voyager Class figure of Beast Wars Inferno in the Legacy line later this year, so hopefully before the current year of 2022 comes to an end, we'll have modern-day figures also of Tarantulas and Beast Wars Inferno joining Pterosaur and the other Season 1 Predacons who were given figures in the Transformers Kingdom line last year in 2021. But yeah, I am just thrilled to finally have Terrorsaur in my Transformers collection, and I just cannot get over how similar in appearance he is to his animation model from the Beast Wars cartoon. Alright, and just because I know you guys all want to see it, here is the completed image of the Golden Disc, which you make combining the 4 Golden Disc collection boxes together. So yes, this was Hasbro and Takara incentive to get everyone to buy all 4 of the Transformers Golden Disc figures. Was when you get all 4 figures, the artwork on the front of the boxes comes together and you get an image of the Golden Disc, which was not only the main artifact that was responsible for the main events of the original Beast Wars cartoon series, but also the Transformers Kingdom series that was released on Netflix, and overall, one of the because of the plot twist in the original Beast Wars cartoon, where Beast Wars was both a sequel and prequel series to G1. The Golden Disc is the artifact responsible for most of the major events in the G1 and Beast Wars cartoon series. So yes, that is the significance of the Golden Disc, and there is a copy of it that does come packaged with Pterosaur, or which I will show off when we get him released. So without further delay, let's get Terrorsaur out of his box and take a close look at him in his robot mode. Alright, you guys, so the moment has arrived. Oh yeah, here he is in all his glory, Terrorsaur! Or the everyone's favorite shrieking, eking Predacon has finally arrived, and I cannot get over how incredible Terrorsaur looks in his beast mode. Oh, he looks absolutely amazing. I love the paint detailing that was used on his beast mode head. He has the same green eyes that he had in the Beast Wars cartoon. His teeth are actually painted white, and his mouth is painted yellow, just like the animation model. Yeah, I just really love it. The only minor gripe I have with Pterosaur is that he only comes with one laser gun, and the only place to store it is here on his pterodactyl hip. So he does uh, hip. So depending on what angle you view Terrorsaur, he does not look symmetrical, having only one laser gun on here. So that's pretty much the only gripe I have with Terrorsaur. I wish they would have given him two laser gun guns just to even him out. But yeah, he just looks really incredible looking. And unfortunately, there is no place to store the golden disc that he comes with. So here's the golden disc. There's the Sounds of Earth. I have it upside down. Sorry about that. So yeah, there's the Sounds of Earth golden disc. Here's the hieroglyphs on the other side. Some Transformers fans and collectors have been complaining that Terrorsaur comes with another copy of the golden disc that was created by Generation 1 Megatron that was found on planet Earth rather than the one that was made in outer space by the Vok. And this version of the golden disc is the same as the Earth version that comes with the Titan class version of the Ark. I'm hoping to review the Ark next time. The golden disc that comes with the Ark is a much brighter shade of gold than this. This is almost like a faded gold here on this copy. And yes, unfortunately, there is no place to store the golden disc on Terrorsaur. It's very hard because of the angle for it, but if you wanted to have Pterosaur hold the golden disc, you could put it inside his beak, and he can be chomping down on it as he's flying away. Hey, but yeah, I'm really impressed with how accurate Terrorsaur is to his animation model in the Beast Wars series, despite the fact that he is mold mates with Kingdom Airazor. So for a size comparison, here is Terrorsaur next to Airazor. Again, all the parts on Airazor that are a bird have been replaced with parts that look more like a Aerodon here on Terrorsaur, or they replaced the all the feathered sculpting on Airazor with skin and scales here on Terrorsaur, and of course there's the new head sculpts, and I just love the fact that Pterosaur's head sculpt is so much larger than Airazor's. But you can see the thigh, eyes, and the shins and the ankles for robot mode, which also serve as the shins and the ankles for beast mode. They're the exact same sculpted detailing on Terrorsaur and Airazor. The only difference is that on Terrorsaur, in addition to being made out of red plastic, they also applied silver paint. So at a distance, if you were to give him a passing glance, it would give the illusion of looking like it's different sculpted legs on Terrorsaur, but it is the exact same. And you can see a lot of the differences and similarities between Terrorsaur and Airazor in beast mode, more so than robot mode. The robot mode Elvis is the exact same. The hinge joints that you use for transformation are the exact same on them, but pretty much everything else is brand new sculpted detailing, nailing, but Pterosaur does have the exact same transformation as Kingdom Eraser. I'm not going to show it off, but it'll show off this. It's time for the part of art of the video title where I put the words wing fix in there, and it's because of these right here. So fresh out of the box, and most copies of Terrorsaur come with this. Apparently, these tiny little square hinge joints that connect the interior and the exterior of the wings, they're upside down on Pterosaur. They're actually supposed to be in this orientation shown here on Eraser. So as you can see, if I turn Eraser upside down, see if I can lift the wings so you can see the joint. So there's the square shaped joint on Eraser. There it is on Pterosaur. Or the sculpt, or that little hinge joint itself is a different sculpted part on Terrorsaur, but it's the same size and shape as Eraser, and the transformation of it is the exact same. Fortunately, this little square air piece is held on friction joints, so it's easy enough to pop off and flip around. And so, there it is. Flip it around and reattach it. So there it is in the correct orientation now. Now, and as you can see, now that it's in the correct orientation, right here, these pegs on the back tips of Pterosaur's wings, they now clip in place a lot more effectively. So yeah, that is just one thing to note about Pterosaur is that out of the box for the first time, these two little square-shaped joints that allow you to flap his wings up and down, they are assembled upside down. And even in the product photo on the back of the box, it shows that it's facing the incorrect direction. But thankfully, these are not held by metal pins. It's a friction-based ace piece, and it's very easy to disassemble Pterosaur and reassemble him to get his wings, all the joints on his wings facing the correct direction. Now I have to give a shout. Now I will um, acknowledge that Pterosaur's wings, the outside tips of the wings, unfortunately, the new swivel joints that allow you to move them up and down, they do. It's not a. It's a very flat and thin swivel joint right there, keeping the wingtips attached. And unfortunately, that noise you heard was the laser gun popping off. If you mess around with the wings too much, they will pop off, and so that's a universal QC issue that Pterosaur or suffers from is the swivel joint that keeps the wingtips attached to him or on. They're very flat and very thin in swivel joints. It's very thin plastic, so they do pop off easily. And I've seen some videos where some people have said that there's tiny little bits of extra plastic on them that keep the swivel joints from that keep the wingtips attached to it. I actually watched a video where someone removed some of the plastic and trimmed the actual connection egg, trimmed it down, down to make the wingtips attach very easily. So, unfortunately, that's the main QC issue that Pterosaur has, is that the swivel joints that keep his wingtips attached are very flat and very small. Oh, and they're flat enough, and the swivel joint itself is not strong enough to keep the wingtips permanently attached. So, just be careful when you actually play or fiddle around with Pterosaur's wings, because they do pop off quite easily. On my copy of Terrorsaur, they do hold fairly decently, and the wing just made me a liar. I just very gently tried to swivel it around, and then it fell right off. But yes, that was the wing fix that I wanted to share in my review, was those tiny little square-shaped double hinge joints in the center of the wing are assembled upside down, and it even shows in Pterosaur's product photo. I tried to show that off earlier in the review. It even shows in the product photo that little square-shaped hinge is attached upside down. So at least that wing fix is easy enough to do. As far as preventing the wing tips from falling off, I honestly cannot say. I've seen videos where people have done different solutions to try and get those swivel joints to work properly and keep the wings from falling off. But yeah, other than that, at Terrorsaur, in my opinion, he did come out fantastic. And considering the fact that Hasbro and Takara decided to make Terrorsaur mold mates with Kingdom Eraser, or I think he overall turned out pretty fantastic looking. And yes, if you as you can kind of get Terrorsaur into stand into a perched position, just like you can with Kingdom Eraser. So there's what Terrorsaur looks like in his perched position. Um, Unfortunately, you can't rotate the wings around and have his hands actually touching the ground. It's the paleontologists, not to give, just to give a brief history lesson on pterosaur, on pterodons, but um, paleontologists theorize that when they stopped flying and were standing on the ground, relaxing from flight, paleontologists currently the accepted hypothesis is that pterodons would put their hands on the ground and they'd basically walk on all four oars. So unfortunately, Pterosaur, he can't rotate his wings 360 degrees. So unfortunately his hands cannot touch the ground at the same time that his feet do in beast mode. But that's just a minor gripe for anyone who is aware of the accepted hypothesis about the anatomy of pterodons and pterodactyls. The cruel reality is that for people who enjoy pterodactyls and the flying reptiles that lived on Earth during the same time as the dinosaurs, they don't exist anymore. They are all extinct. And so we may never know for certain how pterodactyls move their bodies both when they were flying and when they were sitting on the ground. But overall, bringing focus back to Pterosaur, or I just really enjoy how he turned out. And one thing that I do like I haven't seen too many people point this out, but Pterosaur has almost the same striping pattern that he does here on his robot mode chest panel that he does here on his back. So the way that the original Beast Wars Pterosaur action figure transformed, the tail section of the pterodactyl mode ended up on Pterosaur's robot mode chest. And unfortunately, now that the Kingdom version of Terrorsaur, since it is mold mates with Kingdom Eraser, Hasbro and Takara did have to design a fake or faux pterodactyl tail to form Pterosaur's robot mode chest. But in that regard, I do enjoy how accurate it is again to Pterosaur's animation model, so I can give Hasbro and Takara having to design a fake a tail to form Pterosaur's chest in robot mode. So now that we've looked at Terrorsaur in beast mode, we will get him transformed and take a close look at him in robot mode. And I've doted on Terrorsaur too much. I try to keep my videos between 10 to 15 minutes ideally, but most times I end up talking too much and the video goes on longer than 20 minutes, and Terrorsaur's review is no exception to that. But yeah, just bear in mind with me while I get him transformed. We'll take a close look at him in robot mode, do some size comparisons, and then we will hopefully be able to wrap up the review. Alright, and here is Terrorsaur transformed into his robot mode, and I gotta say, despite having all this backpack kibble hanging off the back of him, I am really impressed with how amazing Terrorsaur looks in his robot mode. I love the way his wings fold completely back, just like his animation model from the Beast Wars series. And yes, I really enjoy how the paint job matches his animation model from Beast Wars. Pterosaur, he not only has this evil smile on his face, but he's got the greenish yellow eyes that he had in the Beast Wars series. And yes, overall, I wholeheartedly enjoy how fantastic looking Terrorsaur is, and I am really thrilled to finally have an action figure of him in my Transformers collection. Terrorsaur is one of my favorite Predacons from the Beast Wars series, alongside Beast Wars Megatron, Waspinator, and Black Arachnia. Yeah, I just really enjoy Pterosaur or a lot. I was the first time I saw the Beast Wars series, I was disappointed when I saw that Terrorsaur dies in the finale of the first season of the Beast Wars cartoon alongside Scorponok. But but when I found out that Terrorsaur's voice actor actually hurt his vocal cords, or it's trying to provide Terrorsaur's voice, I was willing to forgive if that killing off Terrorsaur for that reason of his voice actor being finding it difficult to voice the character. But yeah, overall, I just wholeheartedly enjoy how Terrorsaur came out. So I'm not going to go over his articulation too much because, again, he is mold mates with and his transformation, even though I didn't show it in the review, is virtually identical to Airazor. Whereas the main difference is that the beast mode head ends up flipping and hanging off of his backpack, which is accurate to the original Beast Wars Pterosaur figure. And even though I'm holding him up in the air, and he's not on a flat surface. The main gripe I have with Terrorsaur's robot mode is this: these transformation joints that end up on his robot mode shins, and they're much more loose on Terrorsaur than they were on Airazor and also Beast Wars Skywarp. So unfortunately, some of Terrorsaur's joints that are the same as they are on Airazor and also Beast Wars Skywarp. Terrorsaur has the most loose joints out of all of them. I don't know if that's mold degradation or what. But yeah, that's just one thing to note about Terrorsaur. If you have him standing on a flat surface, it may be difficult to get him to stand in an action pose when he's standing up in his robot mode. So for some size comparisons in robot mode, here's Terrorsaur again next to Kingdom Airazor, the figure that he's mold mates with. Yeah, I really enjoy that. Even though Terrorsaur and Airazor do have almost as many similarities as they do differences, is how the designs of the wings on both these characters and the overall sculpt detailing, the fact that Airazor is mostly brown and Terrorsaur is mostly red, and the differences, in my opinion, outweigh the similarities that the two figures have. And yeah, there's enough distinction to distinguish Pterosaur and Airazor apart from each other. And I apologize for not having him transformed to beast mode, but just to bring out all the figures that are mold mates with Airazor, here's Terrorsaur next to Beast Wars Skywarp. I warp again. All the parts that were a bird on Skywarp and Airazor, they're now a pterodactyl here on Terrorsaur. And yeah, I just really enjoy finally having a figure of him in my collection. I apologize if I keep repeating myself, I but I've already shared the gripes I have with Terrorsaur, and in my opinion, the positive aspects about this figure are far greater than whatever flaws that the figure has. And if you wanted to, you could still use the wing joints on Terrorsaur, but having them folded all the way back like this, it is accurate to his animation model of his robot mode from the original Beast Wars series. Alright, and just to wrap off the review, here is Kingdom Pterosaur surrounded by the other Transformers figures that were released in the Golden Disc collection action. And from Chapter 1, we've got Road Ranger and Puffer, the two Autobots who are mold mates with Kingdom Huffer and also Kingdom Pipes. We've got the Generation 1 Action Master of Autobot Jackpot, who's now mold mates with Jazz. Here he is with his Target Master Sights. So, Sights was originally a bird in the G1 line, so I find it funny that we got two pterodactyls in the Golden Disc collection, Sights and Terrorsaur. And we've got Mutant Tigertron back here, who even though he's just Tigertron, the same version of Tigertron, he's just been his mind's been mutated, and that's why he has the new mutant face. Ace, I do not regret getting this figure. And then of course the main figure in the Golden Disc collection, we have Kingdom Terrorsaur. So the only major gripe I have, minor gripe I have with Terrorsaur, and I did say this a moment ago in the review, that it is quite difficult to get Terrorsaur to stand upright on a flat surface. Hopefully he'll cooperate, and he's refusing to cooperate. But I will say this about Pterosaur. The only another minor gripe I have with him is that he cannot he has no way of being able to actually hold the golden disc that he comes packaged with. And just to recap, this is on Amazon's website. I have everyone to see. So the plot twist here with the Golden Disc collection is that Terrorsaur stole the Golden Disc from Beast Wars Megatron, and he went back in time to try and see if he could seize command of the Predacons. And when he opened the time portal to travel back in time to history, it accidentally became a multi-universal portal that opened up to different universes, and Road Ranger came from the universe of the GoBots franchise. Puffer was actually Huffer and Pipes, who the Golden Disc accidentally fused together into a brand new Autobot, similar to the way characters would fuse their bodies together in Dragon Ball Z. So that's who Puffer is. He's actually a combined fused version of Huffer and Pipes. Me personally, I just like to treat Puffer as a separate character. And then another Autobot who got drawn into the portal that Terrorsaur created with the Golden Disc was the Action Master Jackpot with his partner Sights, and they were Jackpot was transformed from the Golden Disc from being an Action Master, not actually possessing a vehicle mode, into actually finally having one. And Sights was changed from being a bird to a pterodon. And of course, Tigertron got the worst of it all. His mind was corrupted, and he's now become evil, and he thinks like a Predacon, even though he's still a Maximal. So the storyline that Amazon came up with the Golden Disc collection is that Terrorsaur, when he sees what he did, he tries to recruit Tigertron into helping him defeat all these Autobots. But right as the battle began and to get really intensify, I should say, Tigertron remembered that he was a heroic Maximal, and so Tigertron helps Jackpot, Road Ranger, and Puffer and Sights from defeating Pterosaur, and then the Golden Disc is taken back to its own time frame. Road Ranger, Puffer, Sights, and Jackpot return to their own universes. Versus Tigertron returns to where he came from, and he reverts back to his normal self, and everything becomes undone in the end. So yeah, that's the story behind the Golden Disc collection, and that's one of the motivators. The other, of course, being in the used in the thumbnail of this video, where if you buy all 4 of the Golden Disc boxes collection, you can combine them together to get an image of the Golden Disc here. So yeah, the golden disc is one of the most powerful uh, artifacts acts of the Transformers franchise as ever, and that's why it was the central theme for the Transformers Kingdom line. So yes, thank you guys all so much. This has been the TFN Geek. This is my review of the fourth and final figure to be released in the Transformers Golden Disc Collection, Transformers Kingdom Deluxe Class Pterosaur. Do I recommend getting this figure and adding it to your Transformers collection? Absolutely, I do. Despite being mold mates with Kingdom Eraser instead of being his own unique mold, you cannot go wrong having the Kingdom Deluxe Class Terrorsaur figure in your Transformers collection. And I hope the wing fix I showed off at the start of the review you was able to helped you guys with Pterosaur's wings. I apologize for not having a fix for preventing the wing tips from falling off. But yeah, overall, I think the Golden Disc collection, the 6 Transformers figures you got at Sites is his own character. The 6 figures that are available in the Golden Disc collection, I enjoy having all of them, including Tigertron on. But yes, I am happy that they ended it off with Pterosaur, one of the more famous characters from the Transformers Beast Wars series. And out of all 6 of these Transformers characters, Terrorsaur is the most well known out of all of them. So yes, I thank you Hasbro and thank you Amazon for releasing all these fantastic Transformers figures that we otherwise probably wouldn't have gotten. And thank you to all my subscribers for your continued support. And until next time, you guys, stay safe, stay healthy. And until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone. And thank you for enjoying this golden review. Yuck, 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 yuck.